And welcome to the HollyHood Zoomcast, episode 27. I am Ajiman.
T. Goodman here.
Smallwood Worldwide.
Hey,
Y'all know who I is.
that is not how we do that at all. That's not even close. Not even close. We had it. We were rolling, man. I mean, we were rolling, and then you know what? I'm not gonna derail the show. So hey, everybody, hey, today we're doing something very special and very different. Well, not that different, honestly, but we did want to do something where we saw the greatness as far as longevity goes. Celebrate something that's more timeless than just a one-shot stop. You understand? So we decided to do a top 5 list of the 5 best franchises / series all time, if we could possibly do that. And these have to be 3 or more to qualify. Now, I will throw out a couple of feelers. Number 1, so we didn't do something like for instance, like the Batman series, right? As opposed to just saying the entirety of the Batman series all scrunched together, you could actually separate it by actor. So for instance, if you said, I would like to go with what's Buddy's name? Who was the first one?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Adam.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I was trying not to say that.
Don't derail the show. Look, anyway, so yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So like if you said I want Michael Keaton's, although he doesn't have 3, this is just an example. You say Michael Keaton's Batman, so to speak, as opposed to the other Batmans that have been brought into the franchise. You could do the same with X-Men. You could do the same with the Avenger movies, which is a interesting thing. So
yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Are we counting those all as one jumbo package, or is everybody got their own each individual movies?
No, you can do it all individual. So like if you said I just want the Guardian movies or the Captain America movies, you're free to do that, or the Iron Man movies, you're free to do that. When I went to Facebook with the question, we got a huge response, and I'll just name some of the things that were mentioned. Ghostbusters, Lethal Weapon was mentioned more than twice. Star Trek was mentioned twice. The Marvel franchise as a whole was mentioned, although, like I said, we're not going to necessarily count it that way. Terminator was mentioned, Die Hard, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park. I don't agree with that shit. Fast and Furious. I really don't agree with that shit. The Bourne Identity, Star Wars. You want to talk about disagree? Boy, let me tell you. Anyway, Godfather was mentioned, Rocky, Superman, Batman, X-Men, John Wick, Equalizer, Creed, Bad Boys, interesting, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, which I thought was hilarious, always makes me chuckle, Lord of the Rings, Planet of the Apes, Night of the Living Dead, and Mission Impossible. These are all just different ones that were thrown out there, not to mention others were thrown several times. The one that got the most from Facebook was actually The Godfather. 6 mentions. So that's crazy. That should just tell you what kind of thing we're going into. So with all that being said, I guess I could go ahead and kick off first. I'm not going to do any honorable mentions because I know how that can be on people. But I do have to say this. Maybe I'll do it at the end so that way I don't step on anybody's list. How about that? So I'll start off with my number. My number 5 was none other than John Wick. 4 classics. I would say the worst of the movies was probably number 3, and that still ranked pretty high for me of all of them. But the 4th one had literally the greatest action scene I've ever seen. It looked like a video game, and it ended with him jumping out of a window and landing on a car. So I mean, like, it was just the whole series was dope and remarkable. Kind of slept on too. When it first came out, I was like, I'm not gonna go see that. And Maurice was like, yo, you see that John Wick joint? And I was like, nah, I didn't see it. And then when I saw it, I was like, man, I really screwed up. I should have spent my $14 on that. So I didn't miss another one since after that one. As far as when they released, I tried my best to scramble out there and go out there and see that. So John Wick was my number 5. TJ, what you got on that, man?
Man, after much toil and trouble, I had 3 that I was kind of juggling around at number 5. One that you guys would never agree with. I just... so entertaining. But I'll give you my real one is I was flip-flopping between Rocky and Creed. And I think I'm gonna have to give it to Rocky just out of respect. Wow. Since Creed, kind of followed that same vein. I mean, Rocky was he had a couple of rocky ones. But ultimately, man, a very entertaining series. Like the way that I built my list, I said, okay, well, can I sit down and watch all of these if I had like a whole evening or afternoon to evening, and just sit and watch them? And that's kind of how I picked the franchises. So number 5, I'm going to go with Rocky. I mean, they are very entertaining.
Question for you, TJ: did you just completely black out on Rocky 5?
I did not. That's why I said he had a couple of Rocky. But even that one had the line, "You lose, you're finished." That one still, I could tolerate it. I mean, he came back very, very strong in Balboa. That was a good. So I'll give him a pass on.
Yeah. You can tell when Sylvester Stallone started writing again. That's all. He had nothing to do with Rocky 5, but they were just like, want to make some money? He was like, yo, do it.
I mean, to say that his 5th one was a problem, that's quite a long stretch. So I had to.
True, that is true.
I'm looking past that one and looking at the way that he ended, and then the way he kind of started anew with the Creed series. So.
Yeah, I count that as an extension, man. I mean, it is Creed's story, but it's also Rocky's story.
I disagree, but I guess we'll give you a chance to talk about your list when you get a chance to. How about that, tough guy? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, Antwon, you go and give your number 5.
Yes. So this list is fun because I can interchange any number of movies, probably at least 10 or 15, but top 5 only. Number 5, Daniel Craig James Bond series, Casino Royale, Quantum Solace, Skyfall. Absolutely delicious. Okay. Casino Royale entrance alone. Excuse me. I'm biting my tongue here trying not to say like 3 different thoughts at once. One of the best intros I've ever seen for a film, period, action or otherwise. It was just so immersive. The amount of things that tell the story and push it along and keep you engaged. It's one of those things that when you go to the movies, that's what you go to the movies to see, to be on the edge of your seat. And each movie had its own opening as its identity. They kind of told you where Bond was in his journey at that point in time, and that carried on through Skyfall. And then, of course, I think he had like 2 other movies in the franchise as well until they ended, and it was like just an incredible story altogether. I love long-form storytelling, and for my number 5, it was hard to just not have an honorable mention, but the Daniel Craig Bond run it's incredible.
Not a huge Bond guy myself, but okay, I guess we can allow it. I mean, it's your list. What can I say?
Hold on here. We're gonna have to come to some kind of agreement. He's literally the worst of the Bonds.
That's not true.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
He's the worst.
Another.
Well, hold on. Let me rephrase that. You see, the thing about it is, he wasn't as, in my opinion, they made James Bond too much like Jason Bourne. Like, that's not who he's supposed to be. All right.
I think Jason Bourne had more of a.
James Bond is supposed to be a smooth pimp who loves the women and never breaks a sweat. This dude is very. He's playing for action for what James Bond is supposed to be. James Bond is on the powers of class.
I agree that for the Daniel Craig version, they took away a little bit of him being more of a ladies' man, and then make him more cool. So yeah, the cool part was
took away all the reason why James Bond is James Bond.
Some people are just critics, Antwon. Don't even worry about it. I don't like it. Greg, what is your number 5?
All right, man. Number 5, I'm gonna go with Planet of the Apes.
Very
nice. Ooh, that's hard.
I was thinking about putting it higher, but it's such a dope series, man. And I'm not even talking about. I'm excluding the garbage with old Marky Mark. That one was.
You're talking about the Caesar ones, right?
I'm talking about from Caesar on.
Caesar one's incredible.
The ones with Caesar on, and they're about to drop another one, I think this summer or next summer. But all 3 of those movies are excellent. As a matter of fact, I'm going to change that and make that higher. I'm going to go with The Matrix for number 5.
Wait, what?
Wait a second, yo, you can't do that. Wait, you can't do that.
You can't call an audible like that.
Thank you. Get out of here with that, man. Get out of here with that.
I reserve the right.
What's your 5, man? What's 5?
five is gonna be it's gonna be The Matrix.
Okay.
Five's gonna be
So this is after you explain the Planet of the Apes one, correct? Is that what happened?
I'll re-explain the Planet of the Apes one later. But
The Planet of the Apes Matrix.
The Planet of the
Starring
Matrix.
Caesar Keanu.
Yeah, I gotta switch it up. And the reason why I had to switch it up is because of the last Matrix movie was trash.
Oh man.
Yes, I agree. Actually, you know what? I'm so glad that you said this, Greg, because now I can get to some of the ones that did not make my list. These two both made my list for two different reasons. The last Matrix was in fact trash. It would have made my list as far as the scoring system if it wasn't for that investment. It just didn't have enough on average because of that. And the only reason why Planet of the Apes didn't make it is because I haven't seen any of 3, and I've only seen like parts of 2. But everything that I've seen of that movie that franchise is incredible. So
it's really dope.
Yeah.
And like I said, the other thing about the Matrix is the first, and the only reason it really made it is because the first one was so incredible. Well, that first Matrix was so dope. One of the best sci-fi movies ever.
The original 4 of the Matrix is really, really good. Like I said, it would have made it, but that last one brought it down a lot. It was just so. It was like a new generation look at it. It was very upsetting. All right, let me just. We'll start.
The new Coke bottle shook you up.
Yeah, man, I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. TJ, you can start for our number 4, man. Go ahead with your number 4.
Well, maybe I'll wait until the end. One that I didn't include, just to see what y'all say. But my number 4, I actually have Christian Bale's Batman series. Because you guys remember my criteria: sit down and watch them. Now I gotta admit, what's her face almost ruined it for me.
Rachel! Rachel!
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. In Batman Begins, gosh, she just drove me up the wall. But the movies were so good, man. And it was really nice to see, after, Michael Keaton did his thing, I thought his 2 were really, really good, but there was only 2 of them. And then, it was in no man's land, or maybe a basement land, because a couple of other people tried.
Val Kilmer would like a word, sir. I mean, what is going on?
I want to slander the infirm. So.
The Val Kilmer one was so bad, I don't even remember who the bad guy was in that movie.
No,
wait, was it Mr. Freeze or
no? Batman and Robin was let's get it straight. Batman and Robin was the bottom of any.
They were terrible, but their villains I remember. I don't remember who the villain was.
It was the Riddler and Two-Face.
Was it? And a Val Kilmer?
It was Tommy Lee Jones, who only had makeup for his Harvey Dent side, I believe.
Yeah, they just painted one side of his face pink.
You know what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones looks like
you don't need makeup.
No, you don't. He looks like a pound of raw hamburger meat. He looks it's bad.
My number 4, I'm done.
Yeah. All right, fine. I'll go next. My number 4 actually is Creed, and the reason why Rocky, I can explain it now because TJ, you already mentioned Rocky. Rocky didn't make my top 5. Honestly, the only thing that worked against it should have worked. It should have worked, I guess, more in its favor. But the way that I did it was basically by average score of each movie and combined it together that I thought that it deserved. And Rocky 5 just dropped it a little too low. Creed, all of Creed's movies were solid, like super solid, like 8, 9 to me. Every last one of them, and it followed the format of, honestly, the original 3 Rockies, where it stayed on that path though. It never diverged. I love the different dynamic. Their Adrian story, I love that. I love the fact that they incorporated somehow like the hard of hearing thing in there, because that's a minority that people don't even think to put in the stuff. They somehow incorporated that into it, while also them being a black couple, and they modernized it better than anything that I've ever seen modernized as far as another kind of series. Not that Rocky's always gonna win to me. But that was a great movie. So I put Creed as my number 4. And it ended spectacular with Jonathan Majors, may he live forever, in the last one. There you go. I'll go with Greg on this one as for his number 4.
Oh, number 4, you already know what it is. Planet of the Apes.
Oh, you sure this time? I mean, God.
Right.
Talk about it.
Hold your breath.
I'm positive about it. Planet of the Apes is gonna be number 4. If you guys have not seen, because I know you haven't seen them all, Adi.
Omaha
is great. All of them are great, but the first one in particular, amazing.
First one was crazy.
Top five sci-fi movie all time. The first one.
When he said no, I was like, "Yo, that is insane."
Mind blowing for that time.
Honestly, I don't have an excuse for not seeing it other than I just didn't see it. It's not even like it's not like other ones where I'm like, I've lost interest, like Bad Boys. Rested, may he live forever, you know. But you know, that's not racist, praise the Lord. But I'm just saying, like, you know, I just thought they came out, decade after the sequel. I mean, what's going on here? Okay, I'll be quiet. Antwon, go ahead.
It takes a long time to teach monkeys lines.
I'm still talking about Planet of the Apes. I mean, right? I mean,
well, this got what you said there, and that's keep Will's name out your mouth. That's all I'm saying.
Antwon, go ahead. This is ridiculous. Go ahead. Let's go forward.
This is easy. Before I get into my bag, number 4, John Wick. I've spoke everything about it. One of the most incredible series of all time. What I thought started over a dog was much deeper. So I love everything about the series. And again, without rehashing it, John Wick. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yo, dog, I forgot that the whole thing started because he ended up going on a tirade for 6 years.
I was like, it's like that sometimes. You got your pet. Hey.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's like, you know what you did? It's like, not a big deal, right? 6 years later, yeah.
That's crazy.
Out here messing with a man's dog in his car, that'll get you. It's a line that can't be uncrossed.
All right, who wants to try to jump up for number 3? If no one says anything, I'll jump up for number 3.
Oh, my number 3 is easy. We just went over it. My number 3 is John Wick.
Oh, okay. First person shooter mode in that place, man.
Yeah. John Wick. As far as 3 back-to-back action movies, I don't think you're gonna get any better. It's exactly what it was supposed to be. Like you weren't there for the acting, you weren't there for the other thing. It was basically like a more violent version of Taken. It was great.
First, before I go in and say anything else, watch your mouth. You know about you're not there for that. I see what you did. Secondly, I really enjoyed the world that they built around John Wick.
Yeah.
Because the cool thing about it, by the time you got to the 4th one, John Wick was only in it like half the time, and you looked at other characters and you were like invested in these characters because of the world that they built. I thought it was immaculate how they did it.
Yeah.
Who these guys think y'all? Anyway, TJ, you go ahead. You're number 3.
Number 3, I got The Godfather. It's just got so much game, man. Such a great. Well, the first 2 were really great. The third one, not so much, but you know, I can give it a pass. It wasn't terrible, right? It wasn't like an awful movie. It just wasn't as good as the first 2. And it was, I guess, maybe one. It kind of reminds me of like an extended like Law and Order episode or something. It was just really good, extremely well written, very well thought out. The acting was superb. What you say?
As a top notch.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the best acted movies ever, by far.
Yeah, and the storyline was great. The books were even better. So,
yeah, too.
Yeah, I got it. I would have had it higher, but number 3, much like Aj's, Rocky fell off of his list. The Godfather knocked down a peg or 2, but because of number 3, even though it had the line that everyone still quotes from the whole series, and that's every time that they come out, they put me back in.
The only reason why I did not have Godfather again on my list as far as the consideration, because the first 2 were immaculate, like you said.
Oh yeah.
Because I never saw the 3rd one because everyone told me how trash it was. and that it.
Wait, you still haven't seen it?
No, I never watched it. And honestly, you know what? I'll tell you how trash the third one was, at least from the way people talked about it. When they used to come on HBO, they would be like, now we're showing The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2. And I didn't know there was a Godfather Part 3 half the time because they never even promoted it. That's how trash it was. That's how trash Godfather 3 was.
The Godfather 3 comes on AMC at 2 in the morning. Like if they're gonna show all the movies, it comes on at 2 in the morning.
Antwon, what's your number 3?
Star Wars. No, I'm kidding. My number 3, before I get in my superhero bag, is the Terminator. A little biased there. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. The first 2 Terminators, the cultural impact just can't be overstated. I loved all 3. I love what they did for the time they were in. I love what they do now. If it comes on, I'm watching it if I got time. So it's just one of those things where the concept was so simple and it just really revolutionized like action anti-hero stuff, because even as a kid I was rooting for the Terminator. I didn't care about O'Connor's.
That's crazy. That's all I can say.
And when you look at it now, especially, you're like, wait, so AI kind of, oh man, maybe I should. Yeah, I don't know. It's great.
Yeah, the Terminator. I like to call it the OG Matrix.
The Terminator, it kind of, after the first, some would say 2, but I would say after the first 3, I thought were actually very, very good. Actually, I would even say the first 4. I would even throw the Christian Bale Salvation joint in there. But after that, it lost its way.
Through Rise of the Machines is what I'm talking about. After
no. I'm saying, like I didn't like the one that came out most recently, Genesis. I didn't even bother to see it, so I couldn't put it on the list because I haven't seen all of them. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
I liken that franchise to the
great
Predator.
Story.
Like the first one was just so great.
Great story.
And then the second one, you got Danny Glover beating aliens, and now and then in the Terminator, you got a robot and they're trying to give him a personality. And to me, it stinks.
It was
a great movie.
Hey man, we're not gonna slander Terminator 2 out here, Greg.
But I hate what they did with the Terminator, trying to make him an almost person.
My number 3 is Batman Christian Bale. I mean, oh my God, what a series! You know, TJ said it all, but I mean, like honestly, best villainry probably in a series of all time as far as like Bane and Joker. Just unbelievable. I was thinking about Bane the other day, man. I was like, him could go for a while. You know, like it's just super thug. He's a super thug, man. He's crazy. It was just, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's just, it was that deal. It really was. It was great. So I'm leaving it at that. Now it's on to the number 2s. Antwon, I believe you haven't started yet. Go ahead. What's your number 2?
I'm jumping in. Both feet first, right? Check this out. Captain America, First Avenger, Winter Soldier.
That's our show today, folks. I'm trying to thank everybody for coming out. I'm saying, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to be real with you, Antwon. As far as all the Marvel movies go in a package, that one and Spider-Man, the best. Captain America stories were super dope. Not 1 week story.
Yo,
nope.
Let him explain himself, Greg. I mean, gosh.
No, I mean listen. I'm like OJ, and he's like my lawyer. He's winning the case for me right here, right? So listen,
whatever, man. I'm not a Team Cap guy, so I mean, whatever.
Captain had one of the dopest stories where he started just as like this scrawny little guy, Steve Rogers or whatever. You saw his regular struggles, but he was a cool guy trying to overcome, and you know, they showed you what happens when he got the super serum and he made choices and decisions, and you know, that's how he became the first Avenger. It was less about the Red Skull in the first one. It was more about his development as a person and gaining confidence and, you know, learning to lead. Then by the time you get to the Winter Soldier, right, you know, you have this covert assassin and all these things are happening, and he's still trying to find his place within that new world with his newfound abilities and everything, and also having to eventually find out it's Bucky, you know, his friend. You go to Civil War.
Is he his friend?
It's tough. And he I think his conscience, it puts you in the shoes of what would you do if you had to make X kind of decision in this pinch.
I would have told Iron Man.
Like, you would say what now?
I would have told Iron Man personally. But just because Captain America has the best series doesn't mean I'm Team Captain America. It was a douchebag move.
Civil War just set it all the way off, but that'll lead into my number one. I'm gonna let somebody else get in.
That man broke up the team.
I guess you know what? I'll go ahead and give my my number. We're at 2, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna stay with this theme. And I hate that my list ended up being kind of superhero heavy, but they're the ones who are making the most sequels, I feel like. But mine, of course, is my favorite character.
Hunger Games. I'm not going to derail the show. Yeah. Right.
Like I was saying, one of my favorite characters of all time. It's Spider-Man Tom Holland. I mean, every last one of them. Ridiculous. Dope. Homecoming, crazy. Far From Home, crazy. No Way Home, insane. I mean, it even got these other bums that played Spider-Man. Shout out to Tobey Maguire. I mean, you know, how about that? You know, Day by Day, you know.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Day by Day. You even got him in there, yo. But I mean, like, the Zendaya character, I really liked that version of MJ. I liked his guy in the chair. I thought that was awesome. The way he had haters, and then the third one when they exposed him to how he got like exposed by everybody, and they still did stuff like InfoWars. They had like the InfoWars cat on there seeking him out because he was Spider-Man and all this stuff. If you really look at it, Spider-Man and Peter Parker, they never win. Like, they always sacrifice for everyone else, and that's what makes their story so compelling and so good. And at the end of spoiler alert, at the end of No Way Home, I mean, he basically sacrifices everything to save everybody else. I blame Doctor Strange for that. But long story short, Spider-Man Tom Holland, dope. The original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire could have been on here, but Spider-Man 3 happened, and that's that. TJ.
Yeah, that was the one that I was that almost made my list. I was curious to hear what y'all had to say. I mean, the third one wasn't great.
Day by Day.
But man, the first two I just found so entertaining. I was so close to putting that on there.
TJ, you know my theory, man. That's the reason why they have Marvel, is because they were able to. Because that Spider-Man movie, they was like, oh, we can get a look off this.
Yeah, there's 2 series I think they were responsible for that. That one with Maguire, and then Wesley Snipes with
Blade.
That's one. Blade.
Thank you.
Blade. The only reason that whole industry lived was because of Blade.
He saved them, man.
Yep, saved them.
And then they tried to screw him over in part 3, but I don't want to do
Brown is the biggest.
Yeah, they tried to ease him on out of there. Brought in Ryan Reynolds.
No,
I'm like, what? Like,
Right,
what is
they
this?
did it.
TJ, all right, keep going, T.
My number 2. Oh yeah, okay. So my I had actually considered Tom Holland Spider-Man as well. His series was really, but my number 2 is actually, it's been talked about already. It's Planet of the Apes, starting 2011, because those movies were so strong. The storyline was so good. You saw Caesar from I don't know what they call baby monkeys. They're not pups. I don't know what they call them, but anyway, you see him from there, and the part where he starts questioning what he is, because he's on. Sees that dog on the leash, and he's like, what am I? What's going on here? Who am I really? And so he, between the self-discovery portion where he, kind of discovers who he is and why he is and all that, and his leadership. I mean, first of all, he got incarcerated for self-defense, basically. He was treated pretty tough in there, and then he really found out what he could do and who he was. So him taking over, and the way that he led his, I guess I'll call him his people. It was just such great storylines, and to see an animal as the protagonist, in series is something that's very unusual, unless you're talking about like some kind of cartoons or something. The fact that the story is so strong that he's able to carry it is really good. I'm looking forward to seeing the fourth one, and I hope that it stays as high on my list once that fourth one is out. I don't have any doubt that it's going to be good, but I hope it's as good as the other ones.
Yeah, the fourth
I
one.
love the humanization of it, to your point, right? So with Caesar, you just got to see traits, right? And the growth and development, and you got a chance to see how he viewed it. Like the dog on the leash example you gave was super excellent, because I think that kind of tells you the foreshadowing of where things are going to go, because he saw it as one way, but those others didn't quite see it the same. So it's like, wow. Sorry, I love that series beginning. Well, I don't even want to say the end because the new one looks fire, but yeah, it's incredible.
They got about 3 or 4 more to make, but
I mean,
super dope so far.
It's just so Caesar's just so brilliant, and so he's so thoughtful with the way that he always approached stuff. It wasn't like it would seem like a weak move, like when he would do something, but it's like he just wasn't playing checkers. That's all. It's like he really was ahead. He was much smarter than all the humans that he would come across. It seemed to be.
Well, I would say he was more humane than the humans he came across.
That's a good way to say it.
Which is crazy, but yeah.
Speaking of which, go ahead. It's your number 2.
My number 2 is The Godfather, and it's really just based off the strength of the 1 and 2. I mean, it could have went like The Matrix and got pushed down because the third one was just so lackluster, I'll say. But the first 2 are two of the greatest movies of all times, and that's crazy to say, to have one franchise with 2 of the greatest movies of all times. Yeah, that third one would have been half as good as the other 2, been a landslide, easily the story ever told on film. So, I mean, plus just the list of actors that were in the movie. I mean, Pacino, De Niro,
Brando.
Brando,
AC, JoJo.
Yeah, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, all of them. But yeah, I mean, they were in the first 2 movies. There was no bad job done by anyone, and there's only like 5 movies that I can think of where everyone was completely and totally on point. Godfather 1, everyone murdered their role. Godfather 2, everyone. Goodfellas, everyone. Glengarry Glen Ross, everyone. Ooh. Like, all of those movies are perfectly acted movies, and
you know what they all got in common? Al Pacino. She's got a great ass.
Actually, do they all have Al Pacino?
Yeah, all the ones you named.
Yeah. Damn.
Except for Goodfellas. My fault.
Yeah, you're right. That's got De Niro.
Yeah.
But they all extend from that branch of Italian actors. It's an amazing film. It's one of the greatest films, period. Like, if you're a student of a film, that is one that you have. Those first 2 movies are some that you have to watch. Like, you have to see them. So it's number 2, and only because part 3 was so lackluster. Like I said, if it was better, then this would be number 1 easily.
So speaking of which, let's see. Does anyone want to volunteer to give their number 1 first, or do you want me to go?
I'll give my number 1 since it's already out there.
Well, damn, Greg, go ahead.
Number 1.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Huh? What'd you say?
Number 1 is Rocky. And let me tell you, that to drop 6 movies with 1 dud is amazing. All of his movies were extremely entertaining. And the first 2 were very well acted. Carl Weathers killed it in the first 2. Stallone killed it. Mickey killed it. Paulie, everybody, Adrian, everybody killed it. Plus, it told a really great story. A story that we never thought would be true, a white man as the heavyweight champion. But it was...
Now, this is not racist. This is not racist. Throw out this disclaimer before you say such a thing.
But that lets you know how good of acting job he did in that first 2 movies, that they allowed a 140-pound midget to be the heavyweight champion, and we believed it. That is amazing. Not to mention, it has one of the greatest antagonists of all times in movie history. That damn Clubber Lang. Mr. T put his foot in that role. And, I mean, that is when it started getting a little buffoonish. The Rocky started getting a little like, what's going on here? It started getting a little silly.
I disagree strongly, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, it became more entertaining than acting. It became more of that kind of thing. But yeah, just the storyline and that the Ivan Drago cold-hearted murderer in the ring, like all the stuff that they did outside of Tommy Gunn was top-notch stuff. It was great. You know, I mean, and all of it is just like complete like all of it's stuff that you really can't believe, like realistically, but it made you believe. Like some guy that's, you know, ranked number 500 goes in there and fights against what is basically Muhammad Ali and gives him a great fight. That's not really possible. You know,
1,000 fights, and he was a rockhead.
Yeah, but
no pun intended.
Realistically, that's not gonna happen. All right, we know that wouldn't happen. And the whole thing with at the end, even Balboa, which was a great movie, great writing. But come on, man, that'd be like Evander Holyfield today going in there and fighting Tyson Fury and almost winning. Like, it's not realistic. It's a great fantasy, but they made you believe it. That's how well written and how good the stories were with this. And like I said, as far as a string of movies, 6 movies, 1 dud, and then to continue the legacy on with Creed's son and still make 3 bangers in a row, because I still kind of include that with the Rocky series. It's just a different name. It's still Rocky's story. It's just, you know, updated with a younger black dude that, you know, happens to be one of the dopest actors out right now.
You know, let me just counter you with this.
But I think it's those are the kind of movies that Hollywood's about.
Oh, that's
to make a series like that is amazing, man. Plus, of all these movies, I mean, for him to write the movie, be in the movie, and get an Oscar on the first one that's a remarkable story. The behind the scenes stories is just as good as the actual story in the movie.
He has the thing with the Terminator right now coming out, the documentary. He's talking about how he was working out, getting ready for one of the Rocky movies, and had the pec torn off the bone or something like that, and how the guy had pushed him to do all this craziness with like bench pressing, and it didn't work out, and you know, one of those crazy trainers that be doing some you're not supposed to be doing, and so how he had to hold that together, and he went into, I can't remember if it was Rocky 2 or 3, and that's when he was kind of disfigured in the chest area because of, you know, he was hurt. And I think he said he switched hands to the left hand or something like that for the duration of that movie. And he breaks it down or whatever. But yeah, it adds to the lore of the movie, to your point, where it's just like, wow.
I mean, there's that, and when Dolph Lundgren punched him in the chest and almost killed him. Like there's a lot of crazy background with these Rocky movies, but
it's hard to argue, man. I love the Rocky series. I love Rocky's story. Like I said, I feel like the 5 that I have are the 5 that were just rated highest for me personally. But I mean, there's no argument to me. Like Rocky was so good, it could finish first, or it could, you know, finish like right outside the top 5. So it's very, very understandable. Does anyone want to go before I go? How about that?
I'll jump in, right?
Okay.
So I didn't want to add The Godfather. Everybody says The Godfather, and plus Part 3 is kind of but a lot of series Part 3 is that way, right? Rocky series, again, is one of those things. So I thought, for me personally, I love the Iron Man series, and here's why. I think one of the greatest casting decisions ever in the history of film was made that literally helped relaunch an entire spectrum, which is the MCU, and that was Robert Downey Jr.
Howard. Are you talking about them replacing Terrence Howard?
No. Robert Downey Jr. becoming Iron Man.
What happened there?
We were 2 seconds away from getting Tom Cruise, and I'm so glad it didn't happen. And so it's one of those things where Robert Downey Jr. brought something to the role that was just genuine. It was authentic. And I think the piece about Iron Man, whether you like the first movie, the second movie, the third one is, for some people, so. I thought it tells the incredible story of redemption. It's the fact that without the suit of armor, he is the superhero, right? And so there's actually a line in one of the Avenger movies when he's arguing with Cap about that. And I just think that it's hella underrated in terms of all the things that he brought to the team, how he brought them together, which is why at the end of the Avengers series in Endgame, he's the one who has to kind of save the whole crew because he's also the one who started the thing off. So
he always was the one willing to die for the cause.
Yes.
That's the thing that people miss about the whole thing in the Avengers. He died on the first Avengers. People didn't even remember that. He died on the first.
Used it.
Yeah, had to bring him back.
Yeah.
And his little nightlight fell out.
That's not how we're gonna celebrate Tony Stark. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
Like, yo, come on. I'm doing that though, but no.
TJ, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna let you have the last word on the Spark number one. So speaking of this, like I said, I didn't want this to be superhero heavy, but when it comes to movies, no one does it better sequels, it seems like, than these comic book movies, because comic books already have the scripts kind of laid out, like within writing and stuff like that. It's hard to screw up comic book movies because they already give you everything that you really need to make it right. But nobody followed the script better. Than the Avengers. But by the Avengers, I mean these four movies, because Civil War, I guess, technically was a Captain America. I mean, Avengers, the first one, Age of Ultron, which had all kinds of, which is basically the joint that tied everything together when you go back and look at it. Incredible. Great. Infinity Wars, which of course, arguably the greatest superhero movie ever made. And Endgame, which was, for not the last 20, 30 minutes of that, there hasn't been a theater experience close to that yet, except for Half Baked. So I just think that it was, it was a fantastic series. The thing that really impressed me was the writing of it. My biggest criticism, I think, of the entire thing, actually, and it sounds shameful, it was that Robert Downey Jr. was cast as Iron Man, not because he wasn't talented enough, and not because he was not Tony Stark. Because at the end of anybody who saw it was like, yeah, that's Tony Stark. That makes perfect sense. But it was like he got so many chances, and then they ran, Wesley off for just tax evasion. So the point is that, I just felt like it was unfair. You understand? This is not racist, praise the Lord. But I just felt like it was. I thought it was racist. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was racist. But anyway, but no. Long story short, I love the series. If you really go back and watch specifically the Avenger movies, like back to back. When you listen to the script of what some of the things that they were saying and some of the words they were saying, some of the stuff from the first Avengers that were said is said in the last Avengers, but you don't catch it unless you watch the whole series again. Like, it's just, the writing was just immaculate. It was just crazy. And Iron Man thing is how he started. Like, this is how the whole MCU started, when he announced that he was Iron Man too. So it ended obviously when he did the snap as well. It was just insane. It was incredible. So I have the Avengers series as a whole, not the whole MCU, because some people say all of Marvel. And since we broke it down, we could do that. After TJ gives his, I'll give a couple of honorable mentions that I think people are going to find pretty interesting. But TJ, go ahead and take us home with your one.
Man, I gotta say, what you were saying about that Avengers thing is very compelling. I was very close, but the reason why I couldn't is because of what they did to the Hulk. I mean,
he was the man on the first Avenger. That's the other thing, he was MVP. He might have been MVP. Like Thor was also put on sucker mode, as friend of the show William Skinner said. He missed that 3 at the end of the game when he missed Thanos' head with the axe. So he said he missed
I was like, how do you think that?
Yeah, there was a couple of people that got put on, like, what's his name, Star-Lord or whatever, another bomb.
Yeah, Star-Lord definitely good. Should have got benched after that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
At least they fought. I mean, the Hulk, he had his manhood taken from him. He wouldn't even.
TJ, last time I saw manhood took like that, it was a sleepover at Diddy's house.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Thank everybody for showing up. What
were you trying to say to me,
God? No, I was just gonna say, after you get fired, men's carry, you don't want to fight ever again. Once you get, he got scooped up and fired.
I reckon the combination is supposed to be a fireman's carry. He actually lifted him. He did the wrestling press.
Yeah. He went straight Ultimate Warrior on him.
He did.
He gorilla pressed him. I was like, man, this is a wrap.
He took his soul, yo.
It's one thing to get your nuts taken. It's another thing to have been affected so much that you become the comic relief. I just couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, he turned to Saul.
The
only one that was happy about that was Banner's Taylor. Hey, yeah, ripped your pants in years. This is amazing.
It was heartbreaking.
Beat the soul out of Bruce.
Sure did. It's heartbreaking. But anyway, that's the reason not for that one not being on the list. But my number one is actually, I think, on all of you all's list already, and it's the John Wick series. You guys know, big fan of the in close hand-to-hand combat, and this series has that in spades, in droves, right? Even the gunplay is up close and personal. It was just so entertaining. I could sit there and watch the movies back to back all night. I mean, it is exactly as advertised.
Yeah,
exactly what I wanted. Yeah, it's exactly what I want. It's like if I think the equivalent, if we're talking about like a no guns, just swords and stuff, would be like 300. You know, like 300. I got exactly what I wanted from that movie.
Yeah, you know what it was gonna be.
You know what I love about
Conan the Barbarian. It's one of those levels.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something like, go ahead, G. My bad.
I was just gonna say, can we're gonna have to pause for a moment and give my man what's his name?
Arnold?
No. Keanu Reeves his props. Him to develop that skill set for that movie. I'll tell you right now, Keanu Reeves is scary in real life. Like you don't want to see him in real life based on what I saw in those movies. You can act your way through some things. You can't act your way through that. He knows that shit. Like he's a beast, man. I got to give him a lot of props. I mean,
you ever watched the training monocle that he did for those to get prepared?
I don't know what amount of training he did, but I know he did it well. That's what I do know. He's a problem.
I'll send you some joints from YouTube or from behind the scenes. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I saw him at the gun range doing stuff. And speaking
insane.
Who's been to the gun range a lot and shot a lot,
he's a problem, yo.
That dude's a problem. He's a problem.
Yeah, he popularized that way of checking your checking the bolt, right? He popularized where you like kind of pop the gun up and pull like that with one hand.
TJ, you know what else he did? That the flick motion when he was done with the thing, flicking it out, putting it back in. They said that people never did that before him, and they said they started doing it after that.
Yeah. I mean, they did do it before him, but just not many people. It was like elite groups of people that trained him that did that stuff. That's how he learned how to do it. But he's a problem, man.
What I love about that series too is that a lot of movies portray like the fights is like rage filled, but the John Wick joints was personal, and it takes a special personality trait to be able to deliver that on screen. And Keanu did that flawlessly, where each fight felt personal. It wasn't just like this, white dude, he's raging out and going crazy. Like, no, it was something that meant something to him. And so
what I appreciated the most about that series, TJ, and I'm gonna let you cook again, was that even when John Wick lost fights, he won them. he got thrown off to the joint in the first one. And, yo, he like pulled out. He was like, "Bah!" I was like, "Yo, that's what's up." That's what's up. I love that scene. That's like my favorite scene in the entirety of second favorite scene in the entirety of the whole series. When my man fireman carried him over, like I said, once you get fireman carried, you don't want hands no more. He pulled out that gun like, bah, bah. Anyway, TJ, go ahead.
He was, and he lived up to the movie persona. And what I mean by that is, before you knew what he could do, you heard them talking about who he is. Then they called him Boogeyman, Baba Yaga, something like that. Yep. And they would kill a man with a pencil. And you think to yourself, like, I'd like to see that. And boy, did we see it. We saw it with everything. You know,
did he beat the NBA player Boba with the book?
Yeah, killed him with a book.
Hit him all up in the throat. It was awesome, man. Yeah, so kudos to you, Mr. Reeves. That's hats off to you, sir. You got my #1 series.
Before I go ahead and end this, I because I just felt the need to do this because there were so many good movies that didn't get a chance to be on air. Me specifically, because I just didn't see the whole series. I did see the first 3 of this series, but there were 2 more afterwards that I never got a chance to come around to, and probably would have made my list. Real sleepers, and that is The Purge. I love The Purge.
Hey, to be honest, the first Purge was great. The second one was meh. The third one was dope.
Yeah,
and I think the fourth one was good too.
I didn't see the 4th and 5th one, but I liked all of them.
The Purge, yeah, that's a great honorable mention.
Yeah,
it's a very underrated movie. I mean, it's pretty much the same movie every time, but very underrated.
I love everything about The Purge.
Huh?
I was saying I love everything about the Purge movies because it's a real representation on how a lot of people would really act if they could. If all crime was legal for that amount of time, and how they have people they just dislike and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? There's some people who are more sadistic about it, and there are people who just have like personal grudges and stuff. And I'm like, there are people who wanted to just hide away. Like, yo, I don't want nothing to do with this. Like, I have a
suspicion that if the Purge was real, the only people getting arrested would be black. Somehow.
Tough night to be a kid.
Another good ones, a couple good ones. Hard to be a comedy, have three episodes and be considered decent. The only 2 that were even close to being considered in this, The Hangover didn't make it just because the last 2 were kind of lackluster. Was Friday. Yeah. The first and third one was crazy on Friday, and the first and third House Party was also crazy. So those are consideration.
Yeah. Those are 2 of mine too that I had for honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were almost there. The part 2s of each one of them were pretty whack.
It's not enough. It's not enough, yo. There were sub 5 out of 10 movies, so you can't. Yeah, you know?
They went from realistic funny to cartoon funny.
Right.
They went from telling a story that happened to be funny to trying to tell a funny story. Like that's different.
That's perfect.
They messed up their formula. And then they got back to it halfway on the third ones.
Yeah, that's
like they're almost there.
It's funny because
too buffoonish still.
Yeah, it's funny because it's almost as if like Friday's pattern was exactly like House Parties, and it came like it was like it wasn't that far off, but it was like a generation before it kind of thing. It was interesting. Yeah. See if there's another one that I did not mention. Well, of course, there was the Lethal Weapons. Another sleeper one was the Karate Kid.
No.
The first 3 with Ralph Macchio were pretty damn good. The first one in particular, of course, everybody loved. The second one was still pretty good.
Pretty good.
The third one when he lost his mind and then defended his title, man.
Yeah. Nobody believes you, Daniel. That's what I was like.
But I mean, like, it was a consideration for me.
Hey man, if you throw Cobra Kai in there, you got to have that.
Cobra Kai, seriously.
Yo, real talk. You throw Cobra Kai in there, you got yourself a stew, baby. You got yourself a stew.
I don't have any more honorable mentions. Does anyone else have any honorable mentions that would be a fun?
I do not, and I don't know if y'all have seen all these movies, but the Alien.
Police Academy. Oh, okay. What did you say?
Actually, Police Academy 1 and 2 are amazing.
They are.
Once you get the citizens on patrol, yeah, let's just hang it up, fellas. See how many I can watch Jones beatbox.
What did you say? What did you say, Greg? I'm sorry, man. I was being
Aliens.
Alien.
Yep.
Yo,
oh boy, you got
Charles S. Dutton.
the first two, super dope. The third one, trash. And then, but when you go back with Prometheus and the other one, pretty solid.
I was about to say, like that one. They have like a bunch of different.
Yeah,
it's like Predator has a bunch of different weird ones that aren't named Predator, but they are part of the Predator world.
They're part of the same. They're the same storyline, just whole different people.
Yeah,
but not bad.
Yeah, I would definitely go that. What you gonna?
Did you have any, Antwon? Did you have any honorable mentions where it was like, I wish I could have gotten a chance to, but I didn't for whatever reason?
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to like stick to a formula of just making sure I include some of my favorite categories, Alien would have made it for sure. Without a shot of a doubt, I would have threw some zombie joints in there from George Romero, Dawn and the Day of the Living Dead for sure. I know, much to everybody's chagrin, I would have threw in the Highlander because I thought the Highlander for a series it stuck to. There's no punchline of that.
Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia. I was close to throwing.
Highlander series is excellent, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and like, just because it's not our personal taste, these movies still got a lot of consideration. And
yeah,
Star Wars, the first three Star Wars were really good.
No.
And you're gonna say
the first three?
I'm talking about the one from 1977.
Yeah, 77, 80,
to Return of the Jedi were pretty solid.
Yeah, you can miss me on that.
Y'all know how I feel about Lord of the Rings.
Wait, how do you feel about Lord of the Rings? I don't know if I know that.
Lord of the Rings should have been named Lord of the Nightquills. It is the most boring shit I've ever seen. That shit is Lord of the Naps.
Lord of the Ribs, I believe, is what we
Yeah, Lord of the Ribs.
The Hobbit series was much better.
But I did muscle my way through it. And I'll tell you what, it ain't my personal favorite, but I ain't mad at someone who would put it in there. I ain't mad at them. Because if you grew up in that and you have like a personal connection to it and you watch the movie, I understand why
it's in the same label as the Harry Potters and the Chronicles.
Yeah, all those
Chronicles of Narnia for me. Like I love Narnia.
Yeah, if you grew up on it and then you watch the movies and it holds up for you, I understand it. It just ain't my cup of tea. So I can't hate on anybody who has those two series within the thing.
And that's how Nightmare on Elm Street is for me.
But the thing about Nightmare on Elm Street is the second one was so terrible.
That's the Dream Warrior joint?
Well, that's the ones where like much like Greg said, where they start being like not comical, but they start making it more horror focused than they do.
Like, it's like I'll put it to you like this:
because the first one was crazy good.
Go back and watch part 2. I mean, even the way they ended it was silly. Like Freddy Krueger comes out of the dreams and all the kids can see him and he's like, "You're all my children now." I was like, that's not Freddy. These niggas are awake. You can't see Freddy when you're awake. Like, this doesn't even make sense.
Let's go to TJ real quick. I mean, like, you're just a little wild right now. Let's get you out. TJ, did you have any that you wanted to mention? I mean, you just didn't have to say it like that the way you talk about Freddy. I mean, wow.
I told you guys about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man series. I love that thing. I couldn't do it because of number 3, even though the stuff with Tobey Maguire trying to be all cool and everything, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great. But it wasn't until like the villains and stuff, I was like, I don't know about this one. One that because I haven't seen part 3 in such a long time, it was that old Superman. Superman 1 and Superman 2 was Zod or whatever. I think Superman 3 is Pryor was in there. I don't remember that one. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Richard Pryor was in there doing this Richard Pryor stuff, just scared for no reason. Yeah. Just running around.
I needed to see if I could, if it would have made the list, but I didn't watch it again. For some reason I thought it maybe wasn't all that great, but
It wasn't.
Oh,
it was not good.
I forgot
to. Great.
So this is the last one I'll give, and then I'll sign off for the show. And that was what was it? Oh, that's what it was. The RZA, the Jizza, Inspector Deck. Oh, never mind. I was
the Santa Maria.
But the Wu-Tang Clan. Wow. But anyway, hopefully you guys have seen all these movies, and if you haven't, always remember there's always work at the post office.